9:24 now. On the Health Watch this morning, we are learning about a potentially life-saving course that could be instrumental in suicide prevention. Franciscan Alliance, a healthcare system with hospitals in Northwest Indiana and Chicago's south suburbs, is offering free suicide prevention courses in April and May. And joining us now is Rebecca Saylor, a licensed clinical social worker and employee assistance program therapist for Franciscan Alliance. Rebecca, thanks so much for being here this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's still a very difficult but very important topic to talk about. So let's talk about the training you are offering. Much like CPR training, this could potentially be life-saving. It is called QPR.
Yes.
So why don't you tell us what that stands for, QPR, and what the training entails?
Yeah, so QPR it stands for Question, Persuade, Refer, designed with the intention to kind of mirror CPR, because much like CPR is a life-sustaining training, so is QPR. We want to really help people in the community get really comfortable with just having the conversation, recognizing the signs and warnings of suicide, being able to ask that question, and then give them tools to know what to do once they ask that question. So often people are afraid to ask the question because they're afraid of the answer, right?
Yeah.
And so we really spend some time talking about, listen, you don't have to know all the answers, but here's your avenues, here's your pathways, and it's really just designed for anybody in the community.
So it would be both, if you're concerned what to do, how to phrase the question and approach someone, and then if the answer is yes, what to do if that's the answer given.
You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really important. How long is the course, by the way?
It's 2 hours. So this is really just like introductory to suicide prevention 101. There's some follow-up courses you can take if you want to know more. But really, we break down some of the myths surrounding suicide. Again, and we get really comfortable with asking the question, and then what do you do once you have an answer?
You know, as I alluded to, of course, the issue of suicide, mental health in general still has a stigma, unfortunately, mental illness. But the issue of suicide can be a very difficult one to bring up. So if we could, what advice would you give to somebody who might be watching right now at home who is concerned about a loved one or a friend? What advice would you give them in terms of, without taking this course today, approaching them?
You just got to ask the question. And you want to do it in a way that is open and is inviting, right? If someone says, oh my gosh, I think I'm having a heart attack, you wouldn't say, are you sure? Maybe are you doing that for attention? You would say, oh, okay, well then let's go get you some help. And you may say, well, tell me a little more about that, right? If someone says, and being aware of just some nonverbal things, or just, just like, oh, you don't have to worry about me. Well, what does that mean? Tell me more about that.
You know, I was taught when I was a peer counselor in high school a long time ago, I was taught too, if someone says, not that I'm thinking of taking my life, but they talk about a way to do it. Is that a warning sign, or is that a myth?
That would be a warning sign. That would be something I want to know more about, right? And so you're never going to go wrong with being curious. One of the myths we talk about is if you ask somebody, you're going to offend them or make them angry and may somehow push them towards carrying out their plan, and it's just not true. So many people report feeling relief when someone finally directly said, hey, are you having thoughts of suicide? It was like, it's out, right? Now I can talk about it, and I don't have to hold on to the secret anymore.
Right, and maybe then hopefully get some help.
Right.
You know, so it sounds like this could be a course for anybody, yes?
Yep,
okay.
Anybody.
All right, we really appreciate it. Rebecca Saylor, thank you so much for being here and sharing information about the QPR course. And this QPR suicide prevention courses take place in Michigan City, Indiana, Olympia Fields, Illinois, and Crown Point, Indiana. We will have details, including how to register, on our website, cbschicago.com. And remember, if you or someone you know is struggling, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is always available. You can call or text 988. We'll be right back.